So, stunner boxing. Joseph Parker scores a third round KO over Simon Kean. Kean, previously beaten once in 24 fights, had of his 23 wins, 22 all by knockout. But he was not at the races here. He came out very, very wide stance, looking for the power. Parker actually shook him. I think it was with a left hook about 10-15 seconds in. But Kean took it well. And then, I mean, they were sort of exchanged jabs. Parker was being a little bit, I'm just going to sort of find my way in, take my time, no hurry. That's fair enough. And the first round, was close. It was close stuff. Second round, Kean again. I mean, he's sort of bread and butter up and down stuff from him. He had a high guard, wide stance, looking for power. But Parker wasn't really moving off the line either. I mean, he was clearly had the better skills. And with Joseph Parker, he has flattered to deceive for much of his career. Not gotten rid of guys that he should have been getting rid of. Not shown all of his skills. Strangely sort of reticent at times. But in the second round, he started to jab more. He did take a couple of jabs, and I think in the second round he took one overhand right. But again, he really doesn't move his head that much, Parker. There ain't a lot of feinting going on. There ain't a lot of upper body movement. It's a little bit, you always sort of think, you might be running into trouble here if you don't move yourself. Like with Joe Joyce. He was hanging tough. He's a tough guy, Parker. But that knockout, he was just too stationary on the line, and someone as slow as Joyce and as with that thudding power was able to sort of counter him. Or find him from range, of course. That knockout punch against Joe Joyce was from range. But I don't think Kean had, even though with a guy with that sort of knockout percentage, even though he'd not really fought anyone, you don't want to be toying with him. You want to be getting rid of him. And in the third round, Parker sort of sprang to life and started to. Again, the jab was very good from Parker, but he suddenly introduced the uppercut and he shook Kean with a big uppercut. A minute and a half in, I don't know what it was, already about halfway through the round, and Kean was shaken, and then he fired another uppercut and put Kean down. Kean sort of seemed to go down in sections. He sort of took the punch, was stunned, and then sort of fell backwards. Got up at 8, but there was more of the same waiting for him. And I think it was another uppercut that put him over. It was predictable stuff when you consider the difference in talent. But again, Parker is the type of guy you're just never quite sure which Parker's going to turn up. Is he going to, box sort of rather sensibly, rather conservatively to a points decision, or is he going to try and use those skills and combine it with the undoubted power to get the guy out of there? On this occasion, it was the latter, which was good to see, because that's what you want to see from a guy who's that talented. And Parker is a talented fella. No question about it. He's a talented fella. 3-round win for Joe Parker. He's back on the scene. And whatever you think of Simon Kean, he had a statistically impressive record. 23 wins and 1 defeat. Now it's 2 defeats. The defeat was by stoppage, by the way, so it's not like he ain't been chinned before. But as they say, there are levels to this, and I think Parker illustrated that well. Good win for Parker. Who's he going to fight next? Seems to be out in the cold, doesn't he, really? But we'll see. We'll see if he keeps going. If he wants to fight, if he stays dedicated, and I mean, he's not that old. I think he's 31, which is not very old, so he's got time on his side. And he's been a champ before, and he's made some good money. So it's a question of motivation, it's Marvin Hagler's old line about silk pyjamas. Does he still want to get up in the morning? Or does he want to have a nice lane in the warm? But you make these decisions, don't you? So yeah, what did you think of this fight? Joseph Parker, good 3-round win. Comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Put that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up as well if you don't mind. Thank you for your time. As always, I always appreciate it. And I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now.